Focus expands whatever we place it on. So that is a PowerPoint, and that is something you can utilize in every aspect of your life because you are creating. You are energy, everything is energy, and you are creating. When you own that understanding and you begin to really work with it as a sovereign creator, self-mastery. So you catch yourself with awareness and observation. You catch yourself giving focus to something that you don't particularly care to expand on. You don't particularly want to continue to align with, yes? You're not looking for future experiences that match that signature. So when you catch yourself, and that's a part of expansion, becoming more observing, yes, and aware, and not knee-jerk reacting, but giving a second or two and observing, and then saying to yourself energetically, do I want to focus and align and expand this? Or do I want to break that cycle? Maybe it's a cycle, for many of us it is, and choose consciously to go a different way. Because remember, the definition of insanity, do what you've always done, you'll get what you always got. So thinking that by doing what you've always done, it's going to change somehow is, you know, what we would consider crazy in a sense. But so take in mind, you have that power as the sovereign creator. And knowing that as the being is in a state of ascension, it's, you know, it's funny because some people see the word, and again, this is my perception. So I'm not saying any other one is wrong. I'm just saying what I believe. That's, I can only talk for my own being. So in a state of ascension, some see it as like the being actually leaving the planet and going up into a heaven, right? And I am talking about, and I mean, that's a possible state of ascension, I'm sure, because I don't put a box on anything, but I'm talking about the ascension of the human over a process of time as they begin to remember who they are. So everything we just touched on, your being expanding, your mind expanding, your light expanding, you being aware and conscious and observing and choosing to integrate that with your focus as a divine being who has the ability to consciously direct and choose. It's extremely powerful understanding. When you lock into this and you give it your focus, you expand it. When you contemplate it, think about it, you expand it. You begin to do it. You get better at it every time, more efficient. Your experiences begin to change and align with the energy that you have consciously put in place. Self-worth and ascension are hand in hand. As one ascends, one knows oneself. And when you know you will realize how incredibly magnificent you are. You are. You are mind-blowingly beautiful on all levels. You truly are. And you can give yourself space and time to go, because some need to do this, to memories or experiences that maybe you know, and as you expand, these come to mind. I do this work with people all the time. As you expand, your inner knowing shows up and takes you where you need to go to send love, healing, shifting the energy to spaces that may have been way more difficult than others. And maybe that version needs to be seen and heard one more time and offered some gratitude for you. That version of you deserves some gratitude for walking through that very difficult space. And that's something a lot of people don't think about. They want to heal the past, but they don't even take a moment to say, man, you know, so a lot of people think of a past space of trauma and where there could be, that's why they have low self-worth, low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence because of something they've had happen to them that was so difficult, right? So then they felt unworthy. They feel like, you know, so a lot of people think they don't want to touch that space. They don't want to look at that. That's the worst space of my life. I hated that time. It was horrible. ugh, I don't even like, then I had this nickname. I don't even want people to say that nickname because it reminds me of that space. And that is not a space I ever want to remember. Here's a flip of perception that will empower you to no end. A flip of perception means you have a choice to keep that perception and hate that space and hate that part of you. Or you have a choice to flip that perception and say, oh my God, I got to go back there. I got to tell her, I got to tell him, thank you. That was the crappiest part of my life. And they had to walk through it. I'm where I am now because they crossed that space. Thank you. I love you. You're amazing, right? You try that with some of your past spaces and you see everything shift. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. And as you expand, you remember that. You're able to do this in these spaces. You're able to transmute these energies. You're able to shift these spaces and clear these spaces. And that's part of ascension. That's part of ascension. It's part of your whole being getting to breathe in a new space. Your whole being getting to shine, not pieces and parts, every part. And I'll tell you one thing, the parts that you offer that love to and that healing and that gratitude, they're going to shine brighter than any part of you. Let them shine. Show them some love. You'll be so grateful that you did. You really will. I do this all the time with people and it still gets me emotional because it's the main core of why I do what I do. I want to help people be free. I want to show them how incredibly amazing they are. So ascension, self-worth, very connected completely. I love this. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And being you, your whole you in this now. Yes? Yes. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.